Listen, I need you to really hear me on this. Too many people are wasting valuable time worrying about what everyone else is doing. You're scrolling through social media, watching who's winning, who's traveling, who's buying what. Meanwhile, what are you doing? You're sitting there watching someone else live their life instead of getting up and improving your own. Let me tell you something. Focus on yourself. Stop announcing your every move. Move in silence. Work before you talk about it. Stop looking for validation. Stop waiting for people to cheer for you before you even take the first step. Not everyone needs to know your plans. Not everyone needs access to your dreams. Too many people are out here telling small-minded people about big ideas, then wondering why they feel discouraged. They waste precious time waiting for approval before they take action. They hesitate, holding back their potential because they're afraid of what others might think. They want reassurance. They want someone to tell them they're on the right track. But the truth is, if you keep waiting for validation, you'll never move forward. You'll stay stuck, looking for a sign instead of creating your own. Validation is a trap. It tricks you into thinking your success depends on how others perceive you. It makes you feel like if people don't approve of your goals, then maybe they aren't worth pursuing. But let me tell you something. Your dreams don't need a permission slip. You don't need applause before you even get started. Some of the most successful people in the world didn't have a crowd cheering for them in the beginning. They didn't wait for someone to say, "That's a great idea, go for it." They moved forward because they believed in themselves, even when nobody else did. The problem is, too many people have become addicted to outside opinions. They post their plans on social media, waiting for likes and comments to confirm that they're doing something right. They ask their friends, family, sometimes even strangers, what they think about their goals. And if those people don't seem excited, doubt starts creeping in. They start questioning themselves. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Am I capable? And before they know it, they've talked themselves out of something that was meant for them, all because somebody else couldn't see the vision. But here's the thing, it's not their vision, it's yours. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will see your potential. Some people will doubt you simply because they can't imagine themselves doing what you're trying to do. Others will project their own fears onto you. They'll tell you it's too risky, too hard, that most people fail. And if you're not careful, you'll let their fears become your fears. You'll start hesitating, second-guessing whether you should take that leap. But you have to understand, other people's doubts have nothing to do with you. Their opinion does not determine your success. Some of the most powerful moves you will ever make in life will be the ones you make alone. When you stop looking for approval, you free yourself. You stop operating based on what makes sense to other people and start doing what makes sense for you. You stop worrying about whether or not people will support you because you realize their support isn't required for you to succeed. The only approval that truly matters is your own. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to do something but hesitated because you were afraid of how people would react? How many opportunities have you let pass by because you were too concerned about what others might say? How much time have you wasted waiting for someone to tell you you're making the right decision? All that time you spent looking for validation could have been spent building, growing, and making progress toward your goals. Success does not come from asking for permission. It comes from taking action. Even when nobody believes in you, it comes from trusting yourself enough to move forward. Even when you feel uncertain, it comes from shutting out the noise, ignoring the doubters, and doing what you know in your heart you're meant to do. The moment you stop waiting for validation is the moment you take control of your own destiny. Because at the end of the day, the only person who truly needs to believe in you is you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is talking too much about what they're going to do instead of just doing it. They announce every move before they even take the first step. They tell friends, family, coworkers, sometimes even strangers about their goals, their plans, their ideas. They do it because they want encouragement, support, maybe even recognition before they've accomplished anything. But what they don't realize is that talking too much can kill momentum before it even begins. The more you talk, the more opinions you invite, and not every opinion is good for you. The moment you start sharing your plans, people will start giving you advice you didn't ask for. Some will doubt you. Some will tell you why it won't work. Some will project their own fears onto you. And before you know it, you're second-guessing yourself, hesitating, spending more time explaining yourself than actually making moves. You let outside voices interfere with your vision, and suddenly, what once felt like a great idea now seems impossible. Silence is powerful. When you move in silence, you protect your energy. You keep your focus sharp. You don't waste time defending your dreams or convincing people to believe in you. Instead of talking, you're doing. Instead of explaining, you're executing. And that's the difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck. Successful people let their results do the talking. Another reason to stay silent? Not everyone watching you wants to see you win. Some people smile in your face, secretly hope you fail. Some people pretend to support you, but get uncomfortable when you start elevating. They see your progress as a reminder of what they're not doing. And instead of clapping for you, they plant doubt in your mind. When you move in silence, you take away their power. You don't give them a chance to discourage you because they don't even know what you're up to. You don't give them room to interfere because by the time they find out what you've been working on, it's already done. And that's the best way to move. Quietly, consistently, and without unnecessary distraction. People often confuse movement with progress. Just because you're talking about something doesn't mean you're making progress. Real progress happens when you take action, not when you talk about taking action. That's why the most successful people don't announce their next move. They just make it. They don't waste time explaining themselves to people who don't matter. They don't feel the need to prove anything before the work is done. They just put their head down and get to work. Unfinished plans are fragile. When an idea is still in its early stages, it's vulnerable. It hasn't had time to develop, to strengthen, to take shape. If you expose it too soon, it can be easily crushed, torn apart by doubt, negativity, and unnecessary opinions. That's why you have to protect it. You have to nurture it in silence. Give it time to grow before you expose it to the world. There's a psychological advantage to moving in silence. When people don't know what you're working on, they can't prepare for your success. They can't block what they don't see coming. They can't interfere with what they don't know exists. You create an element of surprise. By the time they realize what you've done, it's too late for them to stop it. You've already built the foundation, made the progress, and positioned yourself for success. Success isn't about talking, it's about doing. Discipline, consistency, and execution will always outweigh empty words. So stop announcing your moves. Stop looking for validation. Focus, grind, and execute. And when the results start speaking for themselves, you won't have to say a word.